Good morning, Trainiacs. We have ourselves a key swim followed by a water run. It's a key run, like main important run, should be intense, but it's water, so it's kind of weird because you feel tired afterwards, but you don't really sweat. Your heart rate's kind of low, but it's doing work. So with it being hardcore coming up with your triathlon training plan sort of season, today I want to go through how to schedule your weeks, like what days you do a swim bike run, what those swim bike runs should look like when you're coming up with your triathlon training plan, whether you are training, say, 4 times a week or 7 times a week or more than 7 times a week. Give you guidelines for where to slot in the key workouts, where to slot in the recovery workouts, where to slot in the swim, the bike, the run, how often you should do each, all that breakdown stuff. All right, swim, water run. So cool with my aqua size belt, man. Told you I look good in my aqua sizing belt. All right, triathlon training plans, depending on how many days you train. Bend over a lot. I wonder if that's why I had back issues. Apparently you have tripod issues. All right, Trainiacs, we are here in front of the old laptop and we're gonna kind of lay out how you could set up workouts throughout the course of a week based off of how much you're working out. What we've got here is all of the red workouts. These are your most intense, really difficult workouts. The yellow workouts are kind of the moderate difficulty workouts, but they might be a little bit longer, like a long endurance bike, a long endurance run. The green workouts, these are tremendously easy. These are the ones that we use just to facilitate being able to do the other workouts. And how I've organized this is basically in priority. So we're gonna add the workouts from left to right, being most important to least important. And as we go down in the sheet, it's also less and less important. So let's start with, let's say you're just starting out in triathlon. How do you set up a week? Well, you definitely want a long endurance bike, you want a long endurance run, a long endurance swim, and you want strength. You want to be healthy. You want to be able to accept the training load. So these are the 4 workouts that I would recommend doing. You have to be able to complete the distance. So being able to have the endurance to do the work is the most important stuff. So what we're going to do is most people have to do their long endurance stuff on the weekend. And whether you do the bike first or the run first is determined by which one you are weaker at. If you're a really strong biker, you put that second so that when you start out the weekend, you start with the freshest possible legs. So in my case, I need to work on my run more than my bike. I put my run on Saturday. That's because I want to come into that workout as fresh as possible, whereas the bike, because I don't have to work on it quite so much, I can do that after the run on some tired legs. Then I would put the swim and the strength midweek, and I would space these apart in like this checkerboard fashion, and whether you have the swim on Tuesday or the strength on Tuesday doesn't really matter. There's no real rhyme or reason for one or the other, basically what your pool will allow. But I would recommend doing it this way so that there is no day of the week that you've been off for 2 days in a row. That's when you start getting stale and losing your fitness. So in this case, you always just have 1 day in between all the workouts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this around because I have a key swim on Thursday, and just to keep it easy on my head, I'm going to do it like that. Next most important workout, and this is the biggest thing that is like eye-opener for a lot of new triathletes, is how you feel running after the bike. So the next most important workout would be a brick workout. When you start getting into 5 to 7 workouts a week, the first workout I would add is a brick run, and I would do that to simulate it as close to race tactics and simulation as possible. Put that after your endurance bike. It can be as little as 10 minutes, going up to maybe 40 or so. But put that after the bike so that it's quite similar. At that point, you've still got a lot of days off to recover. So you're going to be doing a lot of work on the weekend, but you've got lots of recovery during the week. The second swim, I would focus on, put it somewhere throughout the week. I wouldn't necessarily put it on a Monday because remember, like I said, we've got 2 days in a row, Saturday and Sunday being quite intense, fairly key workouts. So we want to save Monday as a rest day. So put that swim, let's say put it on Wednesday. I've got it on Wednesday. I'll explain why. It's not bad to have these swims back to back. Ideally, you would want them spaced out more, but we'll get to that. In this case, we're still leaving some rest before Friday to prepare for the weekend and some rest on Monday to come down from the weekend. Now, a fast bike. This is going to be very intense. Now, what you don't want to do is put intensity in an otherwise recovery day. So these are going to be our key days, these Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. And you can stack intensity on top of intensity. You can put a fast bike with some strength. You can put a fast bike with a key swim. You can put a fast bike with another key swim. You can put it anywhere in there. I would put it as early as possible because a fast bike is a really, really beneficial workout. Making sure that you can put out a maximal effort in that bike is going to do you a lot of good. It's also very safe to do that early in a block in a week. So let's say you've got to do that in the morning, which a lot of people do, and then you can get away at lunch to the gym or on your way home, stop off at the gym and do your strength workout. So that's a really intense day, that Tuesday. What's next? I believe in speed, so having a fast run is really good. That would be the next most important. And I like to isolate that. What I mean by isolating that is putting it at the end of a block of training like this, so that you haven't done a really incredible amount of pounding in the morning and you can rest the day after. So you're isolating it in such a way that you're not coming into a fast run really beat up and then having to perform a fast run on tired legs, which can lead to injury. The next swim, I would add somewhere, again, on the weekend. I always like saving Monday and Friday for your recovery days so that you can come down from the weekend and prepare for the weekend. So what I would do is I would probably put this after the swim or after the weekend run. So you're not going to be running tired. You're going to put that run first, and then the swim can come after. And this doesn't have to be as key a run or as key a And this doesn't have to be as key a swim. This can be slightly lower, but it's another repetition. Now, all we have is these recovery workouts, and these are slightly better than an off day because it allows the blood flow to get moving. And where you put these doesn't really matter whether it's Monday or Friday because they're already a day off for recovery, and we're just improving that, enhancing that a little bit with a lighter day. What I will do, however, is I'll look at this. Okay, well, I've got a bike on Sunday, so maybe another bike there will help by doing several bikes in a row and loading up on volume. That might help if you're an Ironman, but it also might help over here so that the most amount of time that we've got in between bikes is just 2 days. If we were to put it there, we've got bike, 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 and then 4 days off from biking. Not ideal. So we're gonna put that over on Friday. You kind of wanna space things out so that amongst days, you're not taking multiple days off in a row, and amongst workouts and types of workouts, you're not taking off multiple days in a row. The recovery swim then can go here, and you look at this, and again, we don't have any more than 1 day off in between multiple swims, and then the mobility workout can go on either one of those. What we don't want to do is do something like this. Have a recovery swim or a recovery bike on one of these more key intense days, because you're not going to get the benefit of it. If you've already given yourself a really big training stimulus, that recovery swim or the recovery bike isn't necessarily going to perform what it's supposed to perform. So you can put this mobility workout anywhere, and that's really lightweight, really just activating yourself. So what I like to do, like I say, Monday and Friday, much lower intensity days to recover and prepare for the weekend. Do your really key longer workouts on the weekend when you've got more time to do it. These are your meat and potatoes race simulation. And then Tuesday to Thursday, these can be shorter workouts, more intense. Or in the case of these swims, these can be your longer workouts. But you're looking for quality over quantity in these types of situations. So that's how I would go about setting up a training week, and that's actually how my training week is set up. All of this is prompted for you, and it's kind of set up to guide you into this on the new Team TRIATHLON training platform, which should be launching January 1st. So if you like the sounds of this, but you're like, you know what, Taren, I can't quite do it on my own, Team TRIATHLON might be good for you. I think we're looking at about $57 a month, so a fraction of what traditional coaching costs, and it's gonna get you a heck of a lot of what traditional one-on-one coaching gets you for a fraction of the price. So if you want to be notified of when it comes out and just be one of the first potential people to have a spot reserved for you, make sure you go to triathlontaren.com/team waitlist and just put in your email address, and you'll be notified like day one that it's available. All right? What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's a recovery day. Yeah. Later, Trainiacs.